Hi. Stephen Sidney here. You know, at Carl's Jr., your safety is extremely important. Hey, you never know when an accident could happen.
But by following some basic safety rules, along with your own common sense, most accidents can be easily prevented. And if you don't believe that accidents can happen easily, here's a look at our last take. Yo, Burger Boy, roll it!
Okay, everybody, here we go. Stand by. Action.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? Hi. Stephen Sidney here. You know, safety is extremely important. You never know when an accident could happen.
But by following some basic safety rules, along with your own common sense, most accidents can be easily prevented.
Cut! 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 Cut!
What? Something in my teeth?
So, as that just showed you, there are 5 common injuries we want you to avoid. The best way to avoid slips and falls is to not run, but walk.
Hey, there's no reason to hurt yourself while you're on the job. So do your job quickly, but always take the time to be safe. Be careful around places where there might be water on the floor, like the back sink, ice machine, or mop stall areas. And places that might have shortening or grease on the floors, like fryers and the grill. If you see a spill, don't wait for an accident to happen. Either clean it up yourself immediately or tell the person in charge so they can get it taken care of.
It doesn't take a genius to know that wet floors can be slippery, so be extra careful when you're cleaning and mopping them. Use hot water because it cleans better and dries faster than cold water. Use a wet floor sign to alert everyone. Wring out the mop often so the floor doesn't get too wet. Mop the floor a section at a time so there's always a dry area for people to walk on, but don't mop during the busy rush periods. Most important, tell your fellow crew members that you're mopping and the floor is wet so that everyone can be extra careful.
Hey, don't stand on boxes or climb on shelves to reach something. That's just not safe. Get a leg up. Always use a ladder to reach things on a high rack or a shelf. And when you use a ladder, make sure it's close to the item you want so you don't overextend your reach. If it's not, move it closer. Also make certain the ladder is in good condition. It's completely open and the safety catches are locked.
Oh, no, you don't. One thing we don't need when talking about slips and falls is any bad luck. So follow these simple rules, and you'll create your own good luck.
Hi, and welcome back to the show. Today we're talking about what to do when you're around, knives, tomato slicers, can openers, box cutters, that sort of thing. Anything that's sharp, like you. Stop, you're driving me crazy! First, always pay close attention to what you're doing. Don't be in a hurry or zippity-doo-dah. Just kidding. So always wear those safety gloves to protect your precious hands. Fashion statement. Now, grab the right knife by the handle. Can you handle that? Knock it off, you two in the back. Your trainer will show you the correct one to use for each task. Hold the knife firmly and keep your fingers away from the blade, and when you set it down, point the blade away from you. Remember, I'm the only cut-up around here. You're too much! Oops. If you drop the knife, just let it fall. Don't try to catch it. Duh. Move away quickly and warn anyone close by. Hey, there's a knife on the loose! Watch out! When you're through with the knife or any sharp item, put them back on the magnetic bar or knife holder. Your trainer will show you where they belong. Well, that's it for this segment of Sharp Cooking Tips. Your trainer will show you how to clean knives and other sharp items properly. Remember, always be careful around anything sharp.
Get the point?
Hope not. See you next time. Good night. God save
Here's proof that riding the range can cause you pain. Here's Bernie, cowboy Bernie.
That smart's worse than sticking your tongue in a Waco wasp's nest. Ooh-wee. Howdy, partners. I'm Cowboy Bernie, and I'm here to tell you a little tale about being careful when you're moseying around the old Star Ranch there. Hey, if you can't stand the heat, don't get out of the kitchen. Just be downright cautious. Take a look at this here char broiler. Why, the whole thing, including the belts and pans for the cooked meat, is hotter than a Fort Worth furnace. When you put those frozen meat patties or chicken breasts on the char broiler, don't touch that belt. And when you take them critters off, always use a spatula. Watch what you're doing. If you touch this here char broiler, I guarantee you'll be doing the old Texas two-step double time. Hey, it's great to be the fastest cook in the West, but y'all got to do a safe job, too. Be careful now around them fryers. They'll scorch you faster than an El Paso pistol. Don't let shortening splatter on you or touch shortening with your bare hands. When cooking up them French fries, lower that basket real gentle-like into the fry vat so you and your compadres don't get splattered. You know what I mean? Your trainer will be kind enough to show you some special protective gear to wear when you're filtering or cleaning those fryers. Always remember, the shortening is as hot as a 4th of July firecracker. This grill is as fiery as a Houston jalapeno. Even the edges and the ledge in front are hot, so don't touch them. The utensils, like the egg ring and meat press, are also very hot, so be sure to grab a hold of the wooden handles only. Be downright careful when you're working around the oven. Always wear and use heat-resistant gloves, not a towel, when grabbing oven pans or baked spuds. The toaster is as scorching as an Amarillo August, so be careful when feeding and removing English muffins. Watch out for the belt and the surrounding surfaces. They are hot. When you open the lid to the steamer, that heat'll come at you like a red rock rattler. So open it real careful like. There are so many blasted ways you can brand yourself in the kitchen. Do what any good cook on the range does. Be very careful and always wear an apron. The final word is always be extra careful when carrying hot foods, liquids, or pans. Oh, and don't forget to warn your fellow ranchers when you come round in one of them corners. You know, all this talking has made me mighty hungry. Hey, Cookie, how about rustling up one of them Western bacon cheeseburgers and some Frenchy fries?
That sounds great to me, Cowboy Bernie.
Now riding the range don't have to be a pain. Ask Bernie, Cowboy Bernie.
Yeah, I got that call back for that coffee commercial. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it.
Okay, everybody, here we go. Stand by. Ready and action.
Tense muscles, aching back. You don't need any medication. No, what you need is to lift your spirits by lifting the right way. Now, the first muscle you need to use in lifting an object is your brain. If you think an object is too heavy to lift, don't try it alone, get some help. But if you think you can handle it, just follow these simple rules. First, place one foot next to the box, the other one 8 to 12 inches behind. Bend your knees ever so slightly and comfortably next to the object and getting a firm, tight hold. Don't lift with your back muscles. That can put too much pressure on your back muscles. Instead, lift with your knees, your legs, and your back muscles together, smoothly and evenly in an upright position, pushing with your legs, like this. As you lift the box higher, keep your legs apart so as it doesn't fall to one side or the other and you lose your balance. And if you need to pick it up over your head, which I'm not gonna do right now, just do it really carefully, okay? Oh. And like I said in the beginning, if you think the object's too heavy to lift, get some help.
Cut. Great. Okay, let's set up for the next shot, please.
Where is that prop guy? That thing was so heavy.
There are a lot of different types of cleaners and cleaning products used in the restaurant. Oh, excuse me. As I was saying, there are numerous cleaners which contain a lot of interesting chemicals. Interesting, yeah, but potentially dangerous. So, here are some important things to remember. First, always use the right cleaner. Now, there are cleaning cards in the restaurant to help you. They list the right cleaner to use. Never substitute. Each cleaner is specifically formulated for a specific cleaning task. A cleaner that is good for one job may be wrong, even dangerous for another. Now, you can identify a cleaner by looking at its label. Each label has directions for using the cleaner properly, as well as safety precautions and first aid information. There are also materials safety data sheets called MSDSs in your restaurants. These sheets will give you more detailed info on each cleaning product. Now, your manager will know where these sheets are kept. Now, where is that? Here it is. Now, let us go to my favorite Carl's Jr. restaurant, yeah? Just put this button here, a little speaker here, put this down there. We are at my favorite Carl's Jr. restaurant. Look here. Egbert is looking at a cleaning card to see how to prepare and use a certain cleaner. He wants to know how a product is used, not abused. Oh, and here we have Penelope putting a cleaning product into its properly marked spray bottle. She's putting the other products away. She knows that by mixing chemicals, you could possibly cause serious side effects, dangerous fumes, or even bodily harm. Notice Clarence is working with strong chemicals, so he's wearing safety gear. The cleaning cards will tell you what to wear. And note also how serious he is. You don't want to play around with cleaners. It can't be dangerous. Now, here is Letitia. She has finished cleaning, so she is now securely closing and storing the product. You want to keep all cleaning materials away from food and paper products because they could cause contamination. Now, should you ever accidentally... Oh, sorry. Hello. That's better, yeah? Now, should you ever accidentally swallow a cleaning product or get some on your skins or in your eyes, well, you must refer to the first aid information on the label and notify the person in charge immediately. Most of all, if you don't know how to use a cleaning product, ask your manager or the person in charge before you use it, yeah? We want you to be safe and to know what you are doing with every product that...
You now know what it takes to prevent slips and falls, cuts, burns, back injuries, and chemical injuries.
And to stop these, you need to think. Think safety. Be aware of all the potential safety hazards in your restaurant. Follow all the safety guidelines. Work hard at making your work accident-free. And hey, if you happen to have an accident or hurt yourself in any way, notify the person in charge pronto. You may think it's minor or no big deal, but this is no time to be macho.
Your safety is very important. Your trainer is now going to take you on a safety tour of the restaurant and show you the exact locations of the safety equipment and the special safety features of your restaurant, so pay close attention.
Bottom line, safety is no accident. Safety starts with you, so always remember, think safety.
Welcome to Hardee's Food Service Sanitation Training. This video will introduce you to the safe food handling procedures at Hardee's. We will take you on a short trip through Micro World. This video adventure will cover the reasons for managing a sanitary food service operation, understanding the types of microorganisms of concern to food service workers, the connection between microorganisms and foodborne illness, the basic conditions that bacteria need to grow, how bacteria is transmitted to food and how transmission can be controlled, the difference between biological, chemical, and physical hazards, the rules for good personal hygiene, a program of good personal hygiene and safe food handling practices. We have an expert on food sanitation with us today.
Let me introduce myself. Food poisoning. That's right. Who would know more about food safety than its worst enemy? And that's Mr. Food Poisoning to you. Through this video, you will meet my Microworld gang members. These elite members are E. coli, Salmonella, Shigellosis, Staphylococcus, Trichinosis, and Hepatitis. You're gonna find out none of these characters give up easy, and there's always more where they came from.
Well, thanks, Mr. Food Poisoning. We call him FP for short. Well, folks, people eat out for lots of reasons. Families, senior citizens, and friends go out for lunch or dinner. Business executives to have a meeting, or just because they're hungry. Hardee's guests expect good, safe food, clean surroundings, and pleasant service. Everyone is becoming more aware of the connection between food and illness. Serving safe food is your responsibility. Foodborne illness, most commonly called food poisoning, is a disease carried or transmitted to human beings by food. Food poisoning costs restaurants, grocery stores, and even hospitals millions of dollars each year in lawsuits. It can happen anywhere food is served, even at home. The media and news agencies daily report on these incidents.
Some of my best work. Your job is to eliminate me.
By the time this video is over, we will be able to eliminate you. Let's get started looking at this kitchen. There's no place for food poisoning to hide, or is there? Keep your eye out for visible soil. A clean area is not always a sanitary area. A sanitary work area is free of harmful levels of microorganisms and chemicals. Remember, creation and maintenance of healthful and hygienic conditions is your responsibility. Hardee's involves you and management by providing awareness of the high priority of sanitation. Hardee's employees' actions and appearance, as well as posted certification, provide public proof of the company's high priority on sanitation. There are 3 food safety categories: food, facilities, and people. The most dangerous of these is people. Food poisoning depends on them to help carry out its work. The most dangerous part of people? Their hands. That's where most food contamination comes from. Just remember, you and your hands do most of the dirty work. The greatest concern to restaurants and food poisoning's very dear friends are bacteria. Restaurants can provide the perfect environment for bacterial growth. Food left out at room temperatures between 40 degrees and 140 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal for the growth of bacteria. And remember, if you have just one bacteria, it will divide to become 2, and 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, and so on and so on. Proper procedures can keep food out of the danger zone for any length of time. Employees have direct control of time and temperature. You should keep hot foods hot and cold foods cold. Remember, room temperature equals danger. The temperature danger zone, one of FP's gang's favorite places.
Hey, since the gang's all here, let me introduce you to some of them. Sugarlosis, come on over here and talk to the people.
Sure, boss. No problem. Hey, is this on? People don't like to think about me. I'm usually found in human feces. I get around most often with a free ride on unwashed human hands. I'm also known as a frequent flyer since flies will carry me to where the food is. I really make some people sick, giving them diarrhea, cramps, chills, and fever.
That's right, Shig. But careful control measures properly used, such as washing hands after using the toilet and fly control, can wipe you out. Sorry, that's the facts. Okay, gang, who's next? Is that you, Sal? Step right up here.
Hey, got you covered. Sal's my name, and chicken is my game. My whole family is found in chicken, eggs, and dairy products, naturally. We can cause people to have diarrhea, fever, chills, abdominal pain, headaches, and vomiting.
But people can kill you, Sal. Cooking chicken to 165 degrees Fahrenheit, it'll happen every time. Salmonella is spread through a technique called cross-contamination. Notice the setting. The person drops the leaky bag of chicken on the coring tool. Without knowing, the other employee picks up the coring tool and uses it. Voila! Salmonella has just been passed on. People can stop this health threat. All they have to do is guard against cross-contamination and practice good personal hygiene. Our next disease is food poisoning's dear old friend, a gal who comes to us straight from human beings, Staphylococcus. Talk to us.
Well, hello there. It's true. I've been around for a long time. I'm always at home in people's nasal passages and throats. I'm at my best filling up infected cuts and burns, abrasion, boils, and pimples. With very little effort, I can get all over human hands and onto my next victim. What's a little nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, dehydration, prostration, and cramps between friends?
Well, that's right, Staphyla. In fact, we have a clip here showing how you do get around. Roll it, Johnny. Now, as you will see, folks, Staphyla uses human beings as the reservoir to transmit. You see, as the person sneezes into their own hands, Staphylococcus is passed into the hands. When food is picked up, the bacteria has passed on. Staphyla does have her weak spot. If employees will simply tell their managers they're sick, they will be excluded from food handling. Now, if you are dressing sandwiches and have to use your bare hands, making sure you clean your hands is critical. Washing and cleaning your hands, sanitizing all equipment, utensils, and food contact surfaces keeps Staphyla out of circulation. Our next disease is food poisoning's big buddy. Let's hear about it from E. coli.
Thank you, and thank you. Ladies and gents, I deserve some respect. E. coli here. I play it cool. I stay alive in raw hamburger. I can cause people fever, nausea, abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea, cramps, and colitis. And if you really mess with me, I can kill you.
Whoa, take it easy, big guy. Anybody can see you're nothing to fool around with. But they will probably never have to do that after I show them this clip. See, there you are, E, in that hamburger patty. but they're cooking the meat to 160 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, and when you see the juices turn from red to clear, my friend, you're dead.
Who's this? Well, I should have known. Tricky Gnosis.
Gotcha.
Well, you got me like you get a lot of people. Tell us about it.
Well, thanks, FP. I'll just do that. Well, folks, I'm not your average parasite. As a group, we spend most of our time hanging out in undercooked pork. When I show up in people, all kinds of things happen. They start to vomit, have nausea, and abdominal pain, and their eye tissues swell. They get a fever, and if everything goes just right, they get a muscle stiffness.
Yeah, Tricky, you can do all that as long as things don't get too hot. Cooking sausage thoroughly to 160 degrees or better and cooking and holding sausage gravy to 170 to 180 degrees will just destroy you. Is that everybody? Who am I forgetting? Heppy, I know we haven't heard from you. Come on and tell everybody who you are.
Yeah, so what do you want to know? I come from infected people, okay? I wait for my chances in raw and uncooked foods like fresh produce, okay? I can cause people to have fever, nausea, abdominal pain, fatigue, and jaundice, okay?
If people use disposable plastic gloves when preparing raw and uncooked food, you can be eliminated, okay? Foods can also be contaminated by chemical substances used to control bugs while growing crops. Cleaning chemicals used during food service preparation can also cause contamination. You must watch out for particles or items that can fall into foods. Metal fragments, hair, and false fingernails are in the physical hazard list. By now, it shouldn't come as any surprise to find out that proper hand washing is the most critical part of personal cleanliness. You should wash your hands before starting your shift and often during your workday. After using the restroom, after handling raw food product, after using cleaning chemicals, after smoking or eating, after handling trash, after touching contaminated surfaces, after touching your face or hair, after sneezing or coughing, after touching money. Food service employees who follow the hand-washing techniques demonstrated here are the first line of defense against food contamination and food poisoning. Use warm water. Wet hands first. Apply soap. Rub your hands together for 20 seconds. Thoroughly rinse your hands. Finish by drying your hands with paper towels or a dryer. Never dry your hands on your clothes. You also have to remember this. After you're done washing your hands, you might not go directly to food handling. You may perform some other function, such as handling raw food, or maybe you just opened the restroom door. You just picked up bacteria, and you must clean your hands again before you handle any food. Keeping your clothes clean will help you to maintain healthful working conditions as well as presenting a polished and professional appearance on the job.
Breaks should be taken only in break areas when you use tobacco products, eat food, or chew gum. Always remember when returning to work after a break that you must wash your hands.
Thanks for the information, FP. Now let's move on to some of the biggest whistleblowers to food poisoning and his micro-world gang. I'm talking about thermometers. The two types that you will be using are digital and pocket thermometers. First, wash, rinse, and sanitize thermometers before each use. Next, take the temperature in the thermal center. That's usually the thickest part of the food you're cooking. You allow 15 seconds after the indicator stops moving. You then record the thermometer reading. Now, all this careful temperature measurements will be time wasted if the thermometer is not working properly. You must calibrate your thermometer daily. Ask your manager for help in how to calibrate. Remember when you're done to clean and sanitize your thermometers after every use. You may even be required to keep your thermometers in a sanitized solution. Again, check with your manager to be certain. The basic rules for safe food storage ensure that food is protected until used. First in, first out. FIFO means just what it says. You must keep frozen and refrigerated foods out of the 40 to 140 degree Fahrenheit danger zone. Food should only be stored in approved areas. Store food in clean wrappers or containers. Storage areas must be kept clean and dry. Food transport vehicles inside the store should be kept clean at all times. One of the last chances for a food handler to contaminate food is when he or she is serving the food. That's why there is a right way and a wrong way to do everything. Using tongs for handling biscuits keeps your fingers off them. Use a scoop for putting ice in cups to keep the ice free of contamination.
The real heavy hitters in the battle to control food contamination are the sanitizers. Used correctly, after cleaning and rinsing all surfaces, these agents take care of business. They are used in 3 strengths. Your manager will give you the mixing instructions. Notice you won't see me anywhere around these guys.
We've talked about everything but the kitchen sink, so here we are. Everything used in food preparation ends up